am.
All right. What's up, everybody? You tuned in with Vitamin D with the T, and it's your girl D. And tonight we have a wonderful author, Joy Baker. And I wanted to ask you, Joy, could you pronounce? I know it's like Zalima.
Joy Zalima.
Joy Zalima. Yes, this is Joy Zalima Baker, poet, writer, author, makeup artist. What else?
Just ramifications of a lot of things.
Okay, I love it.
Acting.
Okay, hustler. Okay,
Yes,
I love it.
yes,
I
yes.
love it. I love it. So, Joy has a book, you all, and it is called Joyful Journey, a collection of poems. I personally got the book and I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you.
I loved it.
Thank
I
you.
loved it. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I loved it. I loved the poems, and I loved your story.
Oh,
I actually went.
thank
I read
you.
it like 3 times.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
Thank
did.
you.
Like I loved it. I'm like, oh my God. You need to write another one. You need to write like a
I
full
am.
story on your. You are
I'm
okay.
working
I
on it
loved
now.
it. I
Yes,
loved it. I
thank
loved
you.
it. I loved it. And I have so many questions about it.
Okay. Yes.
So I know in the beginning of the book, you know, you started out talking about your childhood traumas and you know how your parents had got divorced, and you said that like, you know, it was such a traumatic divorce for you because I know you said that you started to see your dad less and less. Is that why it was so traumatic, or was it other things that factored into that just kind of put the icing on the cake, like that you weren't seeing your dad as much?
The relationship with my father, it was a little complex. Even with my brothers and sisters as well, he just wasn't there, you know. And my siblings are way older than me, and their mom, they lived with their mom. So I would see them in the summer and on the weekends and stuff like that. But
So your
our
siblings as your dad's kids?
right,
Okay.
right,
okay,
right, right.
okay.
And so our dad, he was just a very mean man. He was just mean.
You think he was angry?
All the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was the youngest of 22, I believe. So
Wait a minute, 22 kids?
yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, you know, just not probably getting all of what he needed, and then his
Right.
mother passed away when he was 2.
Okay.
So, you know, managing all them children and everybody kind of dispersed. So
Right.
he did the best that he
He
could,
could.
but you know, like I said, he was mean. He was somewhat very abusive. Very abusive.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry that you had to go through
Well, yeah, but it was life experience, and
Right,
you
and
know,
help you
I'm
get
help
to who you
somebody.
are.
Yes,
Facts,
definitely,
facts,
definitely.
facts. I love that. I love that. I love that. So I know you said that your mom did get a chance to remarry.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I saw that you said that. So how was that? Like, did you get that relationship that you were missing from your dad through your stepfather? I know you said she married a couple times.
Yes.
So did you get that through any of them? Was there one that maybe stuck out to you to where you have a father figure that you can contact? So how was that?
Yeah. Definitely the stepfather who I have now, she's been married to for about 20 years.
Oh, okay. In a long time.
Yes, and I consider him to be dad. The husband before that, you know, in my teen years, he was a good male figure.
Right.
Because he came to all my, I went to performing arts, so
Okay.
he came to all my plays and musicals and things like
He was
that. But he
supportive.
was there. He was very supportive. And then when I went to college, I think that marriage lasted 4 or 5 years. But he was there, definitely.
Okay.
So I think those two. And with my dad now, my stepfather dad.
Okay, yeah.
We have a wonderful relationship.
So you
He's
do not talk to
phenomenal.
your biological father?
I do not.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's your dad. Your stepdad is dad.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Hey, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
I love it. Yes, I love it. So I did see that you have been through some serious things.
Yeah.
I saw that you were date raped. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
did see that, and I just want to tell you that I'm sorry that happened to you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it really takes courage, the fact to even talk about it,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's a lot of people that have been raped, sexually molested. They don't feel comfortable talking about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
know people that have been molested by, you know, it's so unfortunate because it's just so common.
Yes.
That makes me so sad, the fact that it's so common. And what also makes me sad is a lot of times growing up, it's young people doing it to young people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A person a little bit older manipulating person younger than them. But they're still a kid as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, again, I want to tell you I'm sorry that you had went through that. And I super applaud you just for even being able to talk about that. Because, like I said, there's a lot of people that do not have the courage to even discuss things about
And
nature.
a lot of people do tend to take on the fault.
Right.
I think for years, what I was going through was feeling like because it was a boyfriend that I might have put myself in that situation because we were kissing. And
right, but you did it.
But,
No means no.
No means no.
No means no.
That's what everybody has to know, and it's not your fault.
Right.
And, definitely being able to recognize that now, where I should have even prosecuted, but I did not.
It'd be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't feel comfortable probably at the time. Like you said, you was blaming yourself, which you should have never did that.
Mm-hmm.
It was never your fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody but their fault.
Right.
It's some stuff going on with them, and 9 times out of 10, they've been touched.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's sad, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let me ask you this. I know that you said it was date rape.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? I'm not familiar with that. I mean, I'm familiar with that term, but when I think of date rape, I think of like in the club, a person putting something in your, you know what I mean? Putting something in your drink and rape you. So you ain't got to get into full detail, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Is that what happened? Did they like drug you?
No, it was a situation. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. I was a virgin at the time.
I did see that. Saving yourself for marriage.
Yes.
You sure were.
And
you sure were.
Definitely, I was raised in the church, so I really wanted to preserve myself, but we had been dating for quite some time. We were kissing, and things got a little heavy and heated.
Mm-hmm. You
and
know how it
like,
is.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you got, we ain't doing that. But he had already started, and I didn't know, what to do, because I felt like if I started to fight back, it was gonna get
ugly.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Men, like, sometimes we will have sex just because we scared to see what the next step is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, I'm just like, oh my God, I don't even like getting to that point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm ready, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could really go hang out with a guy and be like, please do not let him try to have sex with me. Please do not let him try to have sex with me. Just because I know a man will pressure you so hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like, I've seen that, like, a girl will get into it with her guy, and he'll be like, you had sex with him? And she'll be like, he made me have sex with him. And he's like, hey, can't no man make you? He can.
Yeah.
A man can. It's unfortunate. Yeah, we didn't put ourselves in that situation. It's okay to have friends. You should be able to hang out with a guy friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm able to hang out with him and just kick and chill.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You should be able to do that without worrying like, oh my God, please, Lord Jesus, do not let this man pressure me to have sex with him.
And that situation, like I said, and then, I actually ended up staying with him. I went through so much. I was
just ask you that. Did you end up staying with him after that?
I did for a little bit. It was so psychologically trauma. I didn't tell my parents. I really didn't know what to do. I was very naive.
And you were young, you hadn't had sex yet, you didn't have no kids.
Yeah.
See, he was older than you. They take advantage. They know.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So he knew what he was doing. He knew
did.
what he was doing. He wanted you to be naive. He wanted you to feel like you was naive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I super applaud you for getting that. Because some people, that 20 years later, will still be with their man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely applaud you for getting out of that situation.
Well,
and I'm so sorry that you ever had to go through anything of that nature. You know what I mean?
Therapy helped as well.
Facts.
I was
and
much
I always
older
tell
when
my
I
guests
went
that
in
get therapy.
Yes.
But get therapy. If you need help, get it. If you're not okay, it's okay to say, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not okay.
Definitely.
I know I need to get me a therapist bad.
Okay.
You know, sometimes I just be feeling overloaded, especially since I started doing my show. I'm just like, sometimes I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you just feel like you got so much on your plate, your head is about to explode.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I've been feeling like that lately. So I'm like, I need to find a balance and get at least some sort of counseling or therapy. Just somebody to talk to.
I encourage that. I do.
You know what I mean? So I know that after that you did get married.
Yes.
You met your husband and you ended up getting married.
Yes.
So how was that for you?
Well, we will be divorced September 27th for a year.
Oh, for just 1 year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the divorce is kind of fresh.
It is, very.
Yeah.
We were married for 23 years. We got married at 24. I was still very young. Just coming out of that situation where I didn't get the healing that I needed from the date rape and the trauma of childhood and things of that nature. But when we got married, we met in a church. We were both very much into church. He was definitely a different person when I met him than he is now.
And they all, I ain't gonna say they all are, but you know how that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already know, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, this is not who I fell in love with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yes, I definitely understand what you're saying.
So, we got married. We stayed married about 2 to 3 years before we adopted our first child.
Okay.
Our only adopted daughter. Our other child is our biological child. But you know, we got married. We was at least I thought we was in love.
Right.
You know, ain't no telling what was going on in his mind. But I don't think that I knew him
like you thought you did.
Yes, definitely.
So I know you just said you adopt. That goes into my next question.
Okay.
What made you adopt? Did you have like issues with having children, or did you always know like I want to adopt a kid?
Yeah, I always knew that I wanted to do adoption foster.
Okay.
Now, we did end up having fertility issues, but that wasn't until, we didn't find that out until years after we adopted her.
Okay.
We adopted her at 16 months.
Okay. So you got her when she was a baby.
Yes.
When she was young.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hi, Micah.
Hey, girl.
Yes.
You see your mommy? I love it. I love it. So I know you said you had some fertility problems.
Yes.
So I have another question again. I don't want to pronounce nothing wrong. Was it Zoe or Zoe?
Zoe.
Zoe. Okay. Okay. And that was your baby who passed away, right?
Most recently, yes. I had twins as well.
Facts. You did. And that, isn't the twins what caused the post-traumatic, the PTSD?
Yes.
Or did you just have PTSD from a build-up of things?
Well, I didn't get diagnosed until after I lost my twins.
Okay.
Because I didn't get therapy really until that happened.
Right.
But I probably would have had PTSD from childhood. Yeah. But after I lost my twins so traumatically that, you know, one was born at home in the bathroom. They were trying to keep the other one from coming. I ended up in the hospital for a few days.
Oh my goodness.
They couldn't induce because it was a Catholic hospital and they knew he wasn't going to make it. So I was in pain. And then I started to get an infection because of the fluid leaking. So it was very traumatic. But my son lived, we named him Joshua. He lived for a few minutes in my hand and then he passed away because his lungs weren't developed and he was just underdeveloped. So yeah, so that was very traumatic. But after that, I did go get some help.
You did?
Because the depression began to set in, and it was just so much.
Too much to handle.
Layer after layer after layer of trauma that it became overwhelming. My mental health literally started to manifest as failing.
Facts. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of started to see that in a book. I'm like, oh my God, how can a person like kind of think positive, and when things are going that bad, you keep thinking the bad and more bad comes. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, so I get what you're saying by like manifesting your mental health. It's like, oh my God, when is it going to end?
Right.
That's why, again, I applaud you for going to get help, because you did. You was like, Lord, why? You know what I mean? He was like, Lord, why me? And I also wanted to mention that to you too as well. Another thing I wanted to tell you, that my favorite thing that you said in the book was being a mom was one of my many greatest joys in life. I love that because I love being a mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's so beautiful that you have gotten to see each way, you know what I mean, how to be a mother.
Yes.
And I love that. And that's just so amazing. Quick question again.
Yeah.
Is it hard to adopt?
It's definitely a process. For us, everything kind of fell in place
Mhm.
because we went through the county.
Okay.
And usually county don't have infants. Usually they're older children,
Older kids.
teenagers, just older children that have been waiting.
Right.
We specifically asked for 0 to 2. And you could be on a list for like years to adopt a child waiting.
Right,
you
for a baby.
Right.
Does it cost money?
No, when you go through the county, it doesn't cost any money.
Okay.
We didn't do private.
Okay.
That would have.
Okay. And that's
so
like expensive, isn't it?
It is. It is thousands of I mean, it could be like $20,000.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I
Yeah.
thought that it could come up to that much,
Yeah.
like thousands of dollars. Yeah.
So when we did that, we just prayed. It only took 6 months for us.
Okay.
We got
That's
a
not
call.
long at all.
Yeah,
That's a blessing. Everything happens for a reason.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot of that stuff was unfortunate because I want to get into that next a little bit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
everything happened for a reason. Y'all got y'all baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
So my next question is kind of going back to your marriage a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What I know you said it was a lot of bit for infidelity. You know what I mean?
Yes, a lot.
So yeah. So what I wanted to ask is, was it like, because a man who got a cheating problem, he has a cheating problem.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? He gonna cheat on you. He gonna cheat on his next wife, the wife after that. You know what I mean? It's sad, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
They have stuff going on in their head to where cheating is never the woman's fault.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It has never been your fault. It's
Yeah.
never been what have you been doing. It's always been what has he been lacking
Mm-hmm.
that he keeps going to. No disrespect to your husband.
Oh,
This
I
is to
understand.
a lot men and women who cheat.
Right.
It's normally what they're lacking on the inside, and they're going from each woman to see like, okay, am I the problem? But once they realize they are the problem, they just go to the next woman to fool them for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So what I wanted to ask you was, did he like cheat with like different women? Was it like an affair type thing? Did he cheat with like the same woman? Because like, I hate cheating all the way, but I feel like that makes it different when you keep going back to the same woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you're like, you love her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so how was that? Like,
Well, in the beginning, because we separated a couple times.
Right.
The very first time, it was a few women. And, he got caught having an emotional affair. But then come to find out later, there were other women.
Right.
So that particular time, our daughter was about 4 at that time. Our son wasn't born. He wasn't even thought of yet at that time. So I did leave.
yeah.
And we separated for about a month. I went and got an apartment. He said he wouldn't do it anymore. We were gonna work this out.
Right,
'cause
for the
I had-
baby.
Yeah, and as far as I know or knew at that time, we were working it out. I
Right.
had literally supported everything this man, wanted to do in the marriage. I wasn't perfect by any means because I had a
Right.
lot of trauma, so I had a lot of issues.
Mhm.
But the marriage was really about him.
Right.
It was about him.
Because it's supposed to be about like the both of you.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, my thing is, okay, you did have some traumas. So he might have had traumas. Once we, took that vow before God, we gonna deal with these traumas
Right.
together.
Right.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
So I understand. I definitely understand where you're
Yeah.
coming from. So I haven't been married, but
Yeah. So that was the beginning. This last time, it was a situation that I didn't find out until I actually left him. There were certain red flags that were coming up.
And your gut instinct don't never lie.
But it was like I didn't think he was doing what he did. I mean, he had a relationship with this woman, who was also married, as far as I know, what he told me. So, they were having an affair for a little bit,
Goodness,
And it was to the point where he was doing things that, treating me literally like a dog. Just
Oh,
dogging me
wow.
out, dogging me out.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a situation where it was our 23rd anniversary. This was last February of 2020. And he said he was going on a guy's trip. I'm thinking he's going on a guy's trip. He did go on a guy's trip, but evidently there was, from my understanding, a group of women that met them down there or whatever. And I had shopped for him, with him, to pick out outfits for this guy trip because we were going to celebrate our anniversary beforehand.
Right.
But it ended up being close to our anniversary, and this is where this woman, they all met up, or maybe they traveled together. I don't know, but
right.
you know, they were there,
You
and
never
I
know.
done
You
picked
don't
out the
never-
outfit that you were gonna go match with the girl. You
matching. They was
yes,
matching.
They was matching, honey. Got pictures and everything. I'm like, no, you didn't do me like that. You know, just a
At the end of the day, you reap what you sow, and karma's real.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Karma is real when it
Yeah.
comes to situations of the such. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
But my thing was, if I've supported you, because when we met, you know, I didn't really, I mean, he studied and got his GED. I supported him in everything, trade schools and barber school.
just
and
whatever he wanted to do, you
a
had his
year of
back.
ministry school. And yeah, I mean, whatever he wanted, I supported, you know. And like I said, I had my issues. I wasn't perfect at all.
But you was loyal. You
But I was
faithful.
trying. I was faithful, and I was trying to work through things.
Right.
You know. Mm-hmm.
Right, yes. So, cheers to that. Cheers to, you know what I mean? Cheers to that. You got the good, you got the bad.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to know something? You look good.
Thank you.
You welcome. You do. You look good. Are you dating anybody right now?
No.
No, you not. Well, it can happen anytime. I don't know when you're going to be ready, you know. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, spend this time with yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like me and my son's dad, we were not married, but we broke up. It's been going on probably 2 years now. I still had not dated. Like, I spent this time to really work on myself and really know, like, okay, because like you said, we not always perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes we got to spend that time looking back and getting ourselves right, getting our minds right. Like, okay, what's something that I want to work on so that next situation or
Right.
relationship is going to be perfect.
Right. And I
This
don't
ain't
want to
gonna
bring
be perfect, but
no baggage, no, you know.
Right.
You know, I still do my therapy. I still take my depression medication and everything else. And, you know, I want to be able to be whole,
right.
at least as close to whole as possible.
Right, and yeah, because you know when you whole and you got that love and just that good feeling for yourself, that's really what helps.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? A lot of times we be kind of rushing into stuff too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just because it gets lonely.
Yes,
it
that's
gets
the
lonely.
thing. It gets lonely. It
But
definitely
I'd
gets
rather
lonely.
be alone than to be with a fool.
Right. You can do bad all by yourself, but it
Yes.
don't get that lonely. It only be lonely a little bit at
Right,
nighttime.
right.
And once you go to sleep and
Yeah.
you wake up, it's like, oh, let me go see my work people. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
It'll not last that long. That
Yeah.
loneliness is so temporary.
Uh-huh.
And because you want to know who you always got? Him right up there.
That's right.
He always got his arms wrapped around you.
That's right.
Super tight.
That's
Especially
right.
when you got that lonely feeling.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He
Oh,
coming in just to, even if he giving us a special dream, that we land with our dream man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I love that. I love that. I loved it. You know what I mean? Because I was just so happy when I got to the end of the book. I'm like, yeah, because I was just saying like, oh my God, bad thing after bad thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, because I know how I am. I know how my thought process is, and I'm just like, Lord, why me? How could this be happening
Yeah.
to me?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I wanted, that's what else I wanted to say. When you said something about like, how do bad things happen to good people?
Mhm.
It's so unfortunate, but you want to know something? It has to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It sucks, but it has to happen.
Mhm.
Just imagine how life would be if we never had anything bad happen to us.
Mhm.
Nothing ever went wrong.
Mhm.
We would probably be so crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We would probably explode.
And it helps our growth. I mean,
Right.
as individuals, you know, I went through the things like, golly, is anything going to be positive out of this? I mean, and I've got 2 children,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
I have, you know, and I do look back at the marriage like, you know, I settled. I really did. I settled.
Do you feel like that?
I settled.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of time that had been wasted because I saw a lot of red flags that I should have left beforehand. But I didn't want to be my parents.
Right.
They
Facts.
both had multiple marriages. I wanted to be committed, and I was committed and loyal. to the point where I sacrificed my own happiness for everybody else.
Right.
And some of my mental health challenges were because everybody else was getting everything out of me. I had nothing left for myself. So what I tell people is, if you don't take care of you, you're not any good to anybody else. You're just not.
That's true.
So
that's true. Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
You've got to take care of you. I was not taking care of me. I got to the point where my hair was falling out, high blood pressure, diabetes, mental health issues. It just got really challenged.
I was gonna ask you that too, because I seen that you did. Do you feel like your health problems did come from the stress?
Definitely. Oh, yes. I mean,
that's the sign, y'all. Take care of your bodies. Take care of yourself. Sometimes if you gotta call off work, call off work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you gotta call your doctor in the middle of the day, call your doctor.
Go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor. It's a lot of stuff now, but we can do stuff online. You know, I had a mental health episode. I will put the link for the mobile, because I posted a link for like people who cannot afford to go to the doctor, people who don't have health insurance. It's like it's called like Better Health or something. Yeah. And you know, you can get on your phone, get a little counselor, talk to somebody. Sometimes you just need to let it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm so glad that. How was your health now? Did it get better or?
It did.
That's good.
I've lost a lot of weight too, because I got overweight. I just didn't feel good about myself, and it didn't help that he was lost myself. Not supportive through even the miscarriages that we had with our children. We didn't really talk about it. We didn't grieve right. And he just got so distant that I was like, well, maybe it's me. Maybe it's because I gained weight. You know, I wasn't working a full-time job. I was hopping part-time jobs because, you know, I was trying to maintain my health. Right,
and your household.
Right.
It's not easy working full-time being a mother.
Thank you.
That's so hard. That is so hard.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They can't do it. They can't go work full-time, come home, cook dinner, clean, sex, what else? Clean the refrigerator, let the dogs out. You know what I'm saying?
The most appointments, soccer, gymnastics.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Not getting a lunch break. That's like, I missed 2 of my lunch break this week just handling my business, going to doctor's appointments and stuff. We don't even get time to sit down and eat lunch sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not easy.
We got the S on our chest. Yeah.
Right. It's not easy. No. That is something so hard. And I salute every single parent out here, because it's not just women. It's single moms and dads out here. I salute them all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy. That is just, it's something, you don't barely get no time. Like, it makes me so sad. That's why I pray to God that my show pays out, because once I do my show, I'm going to do like 3 days of interviewing for like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have about 3 to 5 interviews a day for 3 days a week, and the rest of the day I'm spending with my child. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want to get me a few businesses going, but I want to spend some time with my baby. By the time I wake up at 6 a.m. I don't end up getting home until sometimes, you know, we get home around 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So by then, we're going to be in bed by 9, 10. Me and my baby only get like 2 to 3 to 4 hours. You know what I mean? 2 to 4 hours together at night. You know, like, it's hard.
Especially now that I'm single mother. There are times when my son will be like, I don't want to go to dance this weekend. I want to stay home with you because I ain't really seen you, you know?
Right.
So having to juggle the job, my projects, my books, and, you know, all the
especially adding projects, it makes it harder.
Yes, you know, and so it's like, okay, I have to be intentional about spending time with my son, you know, because he's always had me. Right. Because I was.
How old is your son?
13 now.
Oh yeah, and he's like, I need my mama. Like, he's kind of going away, but he still need his mama. You know,
he's kind of getting his social life and getting that thing going on. You know, so he's not as much as needing me like he did when he was younger. But you know, I was always accessible. Right. They called. He's sick. It wasn't nothing. I just picked. You know, my ex-husband was a wonderful provider. But that's all he was.
Right, was a provider.
I mean, he did what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it.
A lot of times they feel like because they provide, that's
enough.
What they can do.
Yeah, they think that's enough.
They think, I'm providing, I can do this.
Right.
Like, no, you can't. You know, newsflash. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. So I salute you for leaving, because, again, a lot of women do not have the courage to leave.
Yeah. yes.
You know
He
what I
wanted
mean?
me to stay.
I know he did, and he
And
wanted
then-
his cake and to eat it too, and he wanted to keep his girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know he did.
Yeah.
And I bet you could call him right now and he would be back home. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, the weird thing was that we did, I had went, and I didn't talk about this in the book, but we were still dealing with each other a little bit right after I moved out.
It'd be like that.
It was,
You
it was
can
at
never
first,
really just
yeah.
right away.
Yeah,
You
it
know
was
what I'm
hard.
saying? It
was-
is hard.
At first, it was like a rejection thing, but then I don't know if he got in his feelings and I got my feelings, and you know, we had a situation where we just, you know, I was missing him, and he obviously was missing me at that particular time, but. You know, it was that one time there, and then we were still intimate at the house sometimes. So it was weird.
Right.
And then I thought about it, like, I deserve better than this.
Facts,
I'm finna
because
go
that's
from,
what opens your eyes, because
yes.
especially when you're going through a breakup. I was just talking to my son's dad about this, because he's like to the point where he's been like trying to work on getting his family back. But I'm like, I just don't think it's there no more. I
Yeah.
love him so much. I love him as a friend so much. We have the best time together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't want to make the mistake of wasting my time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I spend so much time on healing myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to go backwards.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm just gonna pray to God about it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm just gonna talk to God about it. I don't know.
And you know, with that situation, after it had been confirmed that he had actually went to Vegas, because it hasn't even been a year yet when we had that situation. I called him. I was going off like,
Right.
You lied. You said that you didn't, and you did. You'll never hit this again.
Okay. I know
And I meant
that's right. Okay.
I meant
Power
that.
that P, because that's really what makes them get salty.
I meant that.
Yep.
If I didn't mean nothing else
I
in
meant
life,
that.
I meant that.
Right.
And ain't no going back. That was abuse.
Right.
It was emotional.
Abuse.
And
It is.
mental abuse.
It's definitely emotional and
Yes.
mental abuse. It is.
Yes.
It will have a woman going crazy.
Yes.
Having your mind wander at night, that's just a whole
Yes.
nother thing. That's a
Calling,
whole nother
not
feeling.
answering,
Yes, just sitting there going
lying.
crazy.
Yes.
And even
Yes.
though you know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I
You
mean,
know.
I ignored a lot
Mhm.
because I didn't want to believe he was
Facts.
out there doing that, because I was being faithful to him. But
And that's how it is. It's just I love you so much, and I'm yours. How can you do me like this?
right.
You know, out of all the problems we could have,
Yeah.
you know, we supposed to. I feel like marriage problems should be like money problems. You know what I'm saying? We just around each other too much. You know what I mean? Like, why do cheating have to be one of the things that people resort to?
Right.
Because of their own personal problems.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So again, another situation where I applaud you for just getting out.
Thank you.
You
Yes,
welcome.
thank
I applaud you for going through it, getting out, and congratulations on your baby babies, because that's the good thing you got
Yeah,
out of it.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just the best thing in the world is being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Like, even though we be tired, I love it. I wouldn't trade cooking dinner
Yeah.
for anything in the world.
Yeah.
Cleaning, you know what I mean? Spending time with my baby, I love it.
Yeah.
And my son is only 3. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Those are
to see
fun
what life-
years.
Yeah, I know, right? I just took him to Kings Island for the first time last week.
Uh-huh.
He had such a good time. I
Oh.
love it. I love it so much. But yes, Joy. Let's see. I think that pretty much wraps up all of my questions. I know that you had a book. We kind of forgot to put the book and stuff up. I didn't
Okay,
even
it's
think
right
about
in that bag right there.
Okay.
And I did want to tell everybody that I do
You
have
want to
a
get this?
yeah. Well, that's a poster, a couple posters I wanted to give to you. I'm sorry, I should
It's
have had
okay.
that ready. This is a poster for you. Let me see. Grab it out here.
Okay, I'm gonna have him take our picture with this.
Yes, and
Yes.
I'll sign it for you.
Okay.
The book. I brought you a couple copies so you can give to your mom or whoever. and-
Okay,
or
I get one to
you.
my mom and my sister.
Okay, awesome.
She
And
likes poems. She writes too.
So the book signing is July the 10th, which is a Sunday, from 12 to 6 at Northgate Mall. I'll be there with my posters and my books. You'll want to get your copy. What I always tell people, what I like to leave with people, is through my story, the healing came through me taking my power back. me deciding to leave my ex-husband. That gave me my power back. Going to get help about losing my children through miscarriages. We didn't talk about Zoe much, but I lost her right after I had RJ, my youngest now, but he was 18 months, and we popped up pregnant. We didn't even know.
Yeah, you did tell me that. That was where you didn't have to get no IVF or anything.
No,
right?
I was like, where did this come from?
Right.
How did this happen?
Uh-huh.
We lost her at 6 months, but getting the help that I needed after losing the children, because miscarriage is hard, because you feel the babies, but then you don't have a real place to mourn them because there's no physical body. You know, with mine, they cremated them, but you know, some women don't have that
right.
place
It be just
to grieve.
Yep, I get exactly what you're saying.
So getting the help that you need, mental health. You have mental health challenges, depression, PTSD, bipolar disorder, anything that deals with your mental health. Definitely get the help that you need. There are free resources. I went to counseling at a spiritual place first, and then I decided to go get professional help. If you need medication, don't be afraid or ashamed that
Thanks.
you need it, because in our community, a lot of people may need it and feel like, I ain't taking it.
Facts. I take mine every day. I take
Yeah.
my medicine every day, and it helps me tremendously. And days where I don't take it, I'm like, oh God, I need my medicine.
Definitely.
You know what
You
I'm
can
saying?
feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it. You
Yeah.
can definitely feel the difference. You can definitely feel the difference. It's like, oh my goodness, like.
So I
it makes
encourage
sense.
you, take your medicine, get your therapy. If you don't have insurance, vitamin D, that's right.
Vitamin D with the T. I'll be posting all the
Yes,
links, everybody.
yes,
Get on
yes.
my link is on YouTube. We are on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. All the links will be on my Facebook page, which is Desiree Carnes, or Vitamin D with the T. And we will attach some links to just some, mental health resources.
And here's the book. You want to get your copy? It's on Amazon. It's called Joyful Journey, a collection of poems.
Yes.
It was very therapeutic to do, and I loved doing it.
And I loved it. It was a great book. I read it at work. It was
And
a
I'm
great
doing
book.
book 2, so I'll keep you posted.
I can't wait. And after she does book 2, I'm going to read that, and we're going to have her back.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
But I do little questions of the day. Let's
Okay.
just bring a little fun stuff
All
in
right.
there. Okay?
Yes.
So, I know you heard about what happened to R. Kelly.
Yeah, the 30-year thing, or
Yes.
he went on a suicide prevention thing.
I
He was
believe
on
that. He was
suicide
dramatic.
watch.
I ain't going to say he was dramatic, but you see how he was. You
Yeah.
know, he should have been touching them kids.
Right.
But my question is, this is the question of the day.
Okay.
Are you still listening to R. Kelly?
I have not, and that is because when he comes on, I turn it off,
You do? Okay.
and that is basically because of my history.
Right.
So I can't. I know people say separate the art from the artist,
Some people can't. That's why my
but I
habit is as
have
a
a
question of
hard
the day.
time. I have a hard time doing that
Mhm.
because of the history that I have.
Right.
Even when Michael Jackson played, it was like another kid. Didn't he mess with
Right.
some kid? You know, my mind automatically goes there. I'm sorry.
Right. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right. I'm guilty. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I still listen to his music. I'm not
Okay.
going to sit here and lie. I
Yeah.
do. So in the beginning, I didn't. I tried to stop. I did. I don't intentionally go play his music, but if it come on my playlist, I'm not going to change.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's a classic, if it's
Yeah.
a doo-doo song, I'm going to change.
And I mean, he was bad.
He was, but he was bad. Literally, he was a bad person as well. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You don't go touching no kids.
Right.
They say he did some cruel stuff to them kids.
Yeah.
You know what I
Did
mean?
you see the documentary?
Yeah, I seen a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? I be
Girl,
falling
they
asleep
did
a
some
lot.
crazy stuff.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And my thing is that's another situation of a person older taking advantage of a young
Yes.
person, because a lot of people online, like, them girls knew what they was doing. Don't no girl know what they doing with no 30-year-old man and she 14. Your man's not even developed yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Me
And they
personally,
fascinated, like, ooh,
right,
he like
he's
me.
famous, he's
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My thing is, when I was a kid, I was scared of sex. I didn't think about sex. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't wait until I was married, but I wasn't like 13, 14, 15 having sex.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I understand what them kids was going through. I know some kids was, but a lot of kids weren't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for the people that are like, you act like you wasn't a kid, mess with an old man. Everybody did not do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone did not do that. It happened, but it also doesn't happen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to throw that out there. And then also we have a song of the day.
Okay.
Our song of the day is "We Are One" by Maze. So
We are one.
yes.
Okay.
That's the song of the day. I love that. And then also we have a cocktail of the week. It's really song of the week. Cocktail of the week is the Royal Smile. I thought that would be
What's
cute.
in that?
I'm about to give you the
Ooh.
ingredients. And I could give you this copy too so you can have the ingredients.
Okay.
Yes, a Royal Smile is 1 flow ounce of Brut Dry Gin, 1 flow ounce of Avalon Calvados. I do not know what that is, but I will find out for you.
Okay.
It's a 1/2 flow ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice, 1/4 flow ounce of sugar syrup, 1/6 flow ounce of Gifford grenadine syrup, and then that's it.
Wow,
A little lemon
girl,
for
I
garnish.
gotta send my sugar straight up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we might have to find some sugar-free
There you go.
alternatives for you. But yes, again, I want to thank you so much, Joy, for
thank you
coming
for
onto
having
my
me.
show. This
Thank
was
you.
amazing. Thank you
you
for
so
making
much.
the step up here, literally.
Thank you.
And again, everybody, this is her book, Joyful Journey, a collection of poems by Joy Zalima Baker. And you can get this book on Amazon.com. And the link to this book will also be posted in the description box below. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe this YouTube channel. And again, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in with Vitamin D with the Tea. And again, Joy, thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you.